Good morning, everyone. I woke up today in a real funk. And I think there's something about like the third month of grief that sort of like hits you really hard, because at first you're just trying to survive and then life just sort of like hits you hard. And so that's what I'm sort of going through right now. My friend said to me, hey, come to the office, we'll work together there. I go to my car and I try to start it, and lo and behold, it didn't start. And it's not like in a parking lot that's like easy to even like get at it, to fix it, or take it to the garage. So honestly, I don't know what to do, but I'm just going to put that on the shelf for a second, because sometimes instead of just solving everything all at once, I think it's important to just pause. Took my backpack and just went on a walk. There's a lot of places in Jerusalem that I don't know yet, and a lot of like hidden gems and little tiny parks with benches, and if you don't venture off, you don't really know about these places. And so I actually stumbled upon this burial place called Jason's Tomb. I think if I read correctly, it's someone that was potentially a sailor or a commander of a ship or something like this. I'm gonna link down below exactly who he is and what he did. But it's really interesting to see suddenly a tombstone in the middle of the city, and we don't know who this person is, you know what I mean? Anywho, this video is going to be a little bit different and a little bit more chill. I think usually I take the most interesting things that happen in the span of the week and just show you guys the highlights, for better or worse, of those things. And today is just one of those days in which I don't have strength for a lot. Like, I don't have a lot of energy. I think that rest is equally as important as doing things, and I'm trying to find the balance between the two. So where I am right now is that I've sort of reached a plateau. It's one of those things that I have to wake up and decide what I'm going to do about it. And I think the easy thing is to be like, you know what, honestly, I just want to go back to sleep. I want to go back to sleep. I don't want to deal with this day. I'm deciding that my escapism, if you will, is a healthy one. Meaning, if I'm going to rest, if I'm going to put my grief aside or put hardships aside, then I have to do it in moderation, and I have to do it while doing something that encourages me, gives me life, gives you energy without spending a lot of energy. AKA going for a walk and exploring new things in a beautiful day in Jerusalem. Yesterday, I went to a home group that I was recently sort of invited to. It's actually a really good group. It's all in Hebrew. They're all around my age. And it's been really, really good to be able to continue to learn how to surround myself with community and to be vulnerable within it as well. One of the girls there, she had broken her leg a while ago. And she was explaining that it was actually really traumatic for her and that she was having PTSD. And that sort of opened up the way for me to also be honest, because I am experiencing PTSD now from stuff in the past and everything with my dad, and the really, really, really hard moments that are sort of etched into your memory, into your body's memory, and you can't ignore it. You know, your body feels it, and if you do ignore it, then it'll catch up with you. And I would rather deal with it before it deals with me. And so I decided to share. And be like, yeah, I'm dealing with PTSD too, and I would love prayer. And I think that's what's nice about the body of Messiah, that God strengthens you through people. And I think the main way in which a person heals is love. I know that sounds super corny and really cheesy, but love is definitely the main factor that helps people get through the tough times in life. It's 100 times more difficult to go through hardship in life when you're doing it alone, or you don't have community, or you don't have friends. I think I'm looking at things really different right now, and just wanting to invest in people that really want to be in my life. Guys, this is just a feelings update dump of the last 3 months, and sort of like a recap of living in the city and also exploring this city. Like, if I didn't know, if I didn't go on a walk today, I wouldn't have discovered this tombstone. But I do think it's really, really cool that we do have evidence of life that was. And back then it was even more difficult to record our lives. You know what I mean? Like if you weren't considered quote unquote important enough, then most likely history would have never heard about you. And this person, for some reason, his tombstone from all of the other tombstones here was preserved. And we know just a little tiny bit of his life. I think that after losing someone, you have definitely a different perspective on life and death, because you realize that every moment is precious and you have to decide what type of a person you want to be and what legacy you're leaving behind. It doesn't mean that you have to be famous in order to leave a legacy. You can be famous and known as the worst person to ever exist. You know what I mean? So fame is not the desired outcome. It's what were you famous for? What did you leave behind? If your name is never spoken on anyone's lips again, did the actions that you do and the ripple effect of them linger on people's hearts? Did people's lives change because of it? I know I'm being super existential now, but these things matter. I mean, the small and big things that we do, they matter in the span of time. And I wonder how God feels when we do the things that we do. I think that we all stand before God at the end of the day and at the end of our lives, and each of our actions will have a meaning. I don't know the life of Jason, but I do wonder what type of a person he was. And I know that when people will go to the tomb site of my dad, they won't know who he is, but I know. The people that affected me most in life are the people who shared of their wisdom. They shared their weaknesses and what they learned from them. When my dad passed away, I put a thing out on social media with his picture and the years in which he lived. And I wrote, "It is said of this man, he loved well." I look at my dad as a real example of a person who he did love well, but he didn't have any enemies. It was very, very hard to hate my dad. Like, everyone loved my dad. And I think that there's a reason for that. My dad really died to himself. He let go of his pride constantly, and he was a very kind and gentle and soft-hearted man, and he dealt with me with such patience. Looking at my own life, that's something that I want to, like, if I go down, I want to be known as the person who loved well. And I struggle with the bitterness of life and unforgiveness, and I'm just hoping that with time and with effort, I can become a person who my dad would be proud of. And I know that he was proud of me and is proud of me, but I want to be proud of myself. Anyways, that is my existential spiel. I hope that you all are well, that you are enjoying this content. From week to week, it's going to look different because life looks different from week to week, but I hope that we were able to have an honest conversation about life and about how it actually looks like, even if it's messy. So, my prayer for you and I today is that God would be in control of our emotions, in our day, in our schedule, in our path, and our plans, and everything in between. Because even if it's hard, it is so much better to put your life in the care of someone who knows exactly what to do and exactly how to get you there. Anyways, I gotta go. I'm gonna walk around a bit, see some more beautiful things. If you are new here, then welcome and feel free to subscribe. Comment down below, interact with me, tell me what you think, tell me where you're from. And also, if you have prayer requests, then please leave them down below. I literally pray for all of you. I pray for things that you guys say that you are going through. And that's it. I love you guys so, so much. And I'll see you in a vlog very soon.